Let's face it, some of the most popular pistols are not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. Some fanboys and fangirls have gotten entirely out of hand and need to rein it in a bit. In today's episode, we're gonna have a little fun by bashing some handguns that deserve it. Without further ado, let's start this roast. The Luger. The love affair with the Luger is perplexing. I blame movies. Yes, it's an interesting piece of machinery, and it represents a great historical niche in guns. It was also a pretty awful service sidearm, and was replaced as fast as possible with the literally better in every way Walther P38. As collector's items, they're neat, but that's also created an absolutely insane market for them, so that even run-of-the-mill samples will set you back close to $1,000. But, like I said, I blame Hollywood. Lugers show up in basically every movie that involves Germans as good guys or bad guys, regardless of whether or not it's appropriate or period correct for the character to be carrying a Luger. Hell, even in the new Wolfenstein game, set in an alternate history where the Nazis won, you're still getting saddled with a bunch of toggle bolt full auto Lugers. People love Lugers because they look cool, and apparently that's all that matters. Walther Arms PPK. The Walther PPK is one of those guns that needs no introduction, having been the signature sidearm of the famous James Bond, the fictional British spy at the center of dozens of books, films, and video games. Technically speaking, the Walther PPK, chosen as Bond's principal sidearm, was chambered in .765 Browning, which is the typically European designation of the .32 ACP. However, Walther amped up its PPK offering with upgraded chamberings in .380 ACP, making it more suitable for personal defense. While a classic design, it isn't without its shortcomings. The all-steel construction makes it a heavy gun for its size, though the added weight does make it more comfortable to shoot. In addition, the pistol is well known to be picky regarding ammo selection, so owners should be sure to thoroughly test any defensive ammo in the gun before counting on it for personal defense. Smith & Wesson 500 or 460. These revolvers leave the Desert Eagle far behind in the power game. What they really did was put the rifle caliber bolt action and single-shot pistols out of business. Why grab a Remington XP100 chambered in 7mm BR or .308 Winchester when you can duplicate the ballistics in an easier shooting revolver? Still, the recoil is extremely harsh, and most new shooters who try one seldom make it through a box of 20 rounds before trading it in or selling it at a loss. Glock 19. The Glock 19 is not perfection. It never was. It never will be. When you stack it against modern guns like the CZ P10C and the SIG P365 Macro, it quickly becomes one of the more overrated guns on the market. What does it provide that other guns don't provide? Plus some. Hell, Glock won't even make the Moss 3 series to the everyday shooter. The trigger sucks, the polymer sights are flimsy, the grip angle isn't actually that great, which is confirmed since the custom Glock frames all use the 18-degree grip angle of the 1911 rather than Glock's 22-degree rake. And, frankly, they cost too much for what little you get in terms of features. Do they work? You bet they do. Thousands of police departments, competitive shooters, and so on aren't wrong. They are an excellent working pistol in terms of reliability and function, but they aren't the be-all, end-all. Other pistols run just as reliably and either cost less or give you more and better features for the same amount of money. While the Glock 19 set the standard, it never moved beyond it. If I have $500 to $600 for a gun, it won't be the Glock 19. Colt Python. Let's be clear here. The Colt Python is a sweet revolver that was made for one purpose and then repurposed to another. The Python was developed to be a target revolver, something aimed, no pun intended, to make tight groups in a competitive setting. The gun's features maximize accuracy, yet the Colt Python became a duty revolver. The Colt Python could be a fighting gun, but wasn't great for that role. It's an extremely accurate and precise revolver, but it's fairly fragile as well. Shoot enough .357 magnums through the gun, and it will eventually come out of time. Once this happens, you need to have the lock work retimed. The 1911. This one hurts because I love them, but frankly, 1911 pistols have to get tossed in here too. The 1911 is old. The carrying capacity is pathetic relative to the size and expense. You have to spend a lot to get a good one. And how is it that no one besides Wilson Combat has been able to make a magazine worth a damn? While the 1911 is one of the most beloved handguns, it's far from the best. 45 ACP is not really the man-stopper some people say it is. 9mm is just as effective and cheaper to shoot. Okay, the ergonomics are great, but so what? Carrying a 3.5-pound government frame is a chore. I love mine to death, but I don't carry it anymore for that reason. Granted, I'm probably going to buy a lightweight Commander and start carrying that, because I miss it, but still, it is a highly effective platform. There's a reason why so many champion shooters and civilians still lug them around. But let's not kid anyone that there are some real limitations. The Desert Eagle. Last but not least is the Desert Eagle. It isn't the least of anything because it's almost too big to use. It's also more expensive than a range toy deserves to be. They're known for more jams than Smuckers. Good luck finding 50 AE ammo, and get ready to go broke when you do. Granted, a few folks get them because they want a semi-auto that can deter four-legged threats, and it is one of the few that can. Fair enough on that front, but most people get them as range toys. This is just one goofy person's opinion, but there are range toys that are less expensive and way more fun to boot. Taurus Judge. Why these things ever got popular, I'll never know. 410 revolvers became super popular a few years ago, and some companies made compact variants for concealed carry. They're also chambered in .45 Colt. And if you want an unnecessarily large and inaccurate .45 Colt, then go ahead, I guess. Chambered in .410 through, these guns suck, and that's why they're one of the worst guns for concealed carry. .410 revolvers lack velocity, provide unpredictable patterning of buckshot, are huge, heavy, and downright silly. I put them in the novelty category, and they are fine for having fun. But beyond that, they are not very good at anything. That said, you do what you feel is best. If a gun feels right to you, and if that's what you want, then get it, shoot it, and enjoy it. I look forward to hearing how I'm wrong in the comments below. It's all in good fun, but provide a good reason as to why I'm wrong. Look outside your emotional response and serve up some logic.